So now we'll be moving on to TCLL minus. I'm not going to go over the recognition again since it's just the same as the other cases but mirrored, but I'm just going to go over the algorithms for all of this now. So starting with the hammer set, all of these start with the up-facing corner in the back right, but I think for most of the time it actually makes it easier for me when I recognize it from like a U prime, especially since almost all these algorithms here are going to start with a U prime to set it up. Like for this one here, I'm going to start off with a U prime, and then just do double hedge, so F, R prime, F prime, R, F, R prime, F prime, R. For this case here, you're going to do a U prime, and then RU to R prime, U, and then you can either rotate with Y prime and then do R prime, F, R, or you could do something like with F moves, but I think that's a little bit awkward. For this case, I use one of two different algorithms. I'll either do a U prime, and then R prime, F, R, and then do a Y prime, and then R, U prime, R2, U, R2. But the other one that I might do for that case is do a U2, and then R, U, R prime, U2, F, R prime, F prime, R2, U, R prime. So yeah, depending on which way, depending on which way the case is facing, once I get to that algorithm, I'll do whatever algorithm is easiest. So for this case, U prime, and then R, U, R prime, F prime, R prime, F prime, R, U prime, R, U2, R prime. Over here, you're going to do a U prime, and then you're basically going to start off with the UCLL, that's F sexy F prime. And so F, and then sexy move, and then instead of doing the F prime, you're going to just continue into the rest of the L, so you're going to do R prime, F prime, R2, U, R prime. Over here, you're going to keep in this same position, and then do R, U prime, R, U prime, R prime, F, R prime, F prime, R, U prime, R prime. So now for the spaceship set. So starting off for the easy alg, just R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime. Next for this case, going to do a U2, and then you're going to do F, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F prime, R, F, R prime, F prime, R, which is just to cancel into one of the different TCLL case. For this one, there's a few different algs that you can check out in the document, but the one I use is F2, R, U, R prime, F, U2, and then sledge, R prime, F, R, F prime. For this case here, I do a U, and then I do a Y, and then R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R, F. For this case here, you do an F2, or, I'm sorry, well, it should be like this, so you do a U first, and then F2, R, U prime, R prime, U2, R prime, F prime, R. So now for the Stool reset, for the first case, you're going to do a U2, and then F2, R, U, R prime, F prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime. Next one, you're going to hold it like this, and then do F2, R, U2, R prime, F, U, R prime, F prime, R. I think in the document it might be written with some like L moves, but it's the same thing. For this next case, you're going to do F, R prime, F prime, U, R2, U, R2, U prime, R. Over here, you're going to do a U2, and then do R prime, F2, R, F2, R prime, F2, R2, U, R prime. Now for this case, you're going to do an R prime, F, R, U, R, U prime, R prime, F prime, R, U prime, R prime. And then lastly, for this case here, you're going to do a U, and then R2, U prime, R prime, F, R prime, F prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime. So for this last case, this is kind of like the ugly one. You basically do R, U, R prime, U prime, F, R prime, F2, R, U prime, R prime, F2, R. So now for the pinwheel set. Again, I pretty much avoid these cases as much as I can, but I'm going to show the algorithms anyway. So for the first case, you're going to do F, U prime, F prime, R, U prime, R2, F2, R, U prime, F. For this next case, the one where we have the matching like this, you're going to do r prime u2, r prime u2, r2, f, r prime, f prime, r prime. For this next one, I do one of two things. I either mirror the one that I showed you earlier for TCLL plus, which is just like this. You hold it, you basically are holding like right from the other side now. And you do L prime U L2, Y prime, R prime, F prime, R, U, R prime, F prime, R. But if you want to like a specific algorithm for this case, it's you hold it like this so that these two are matching now. And you do R, U prime, F, R2, U prime, F, R2, R, F2, R prime. So again, that's one of the ones where depending on the case, I'll do one of the two algorithms, but depending on how it's set up for me. So this is now the Toothpaste set. For this first one, you can either do the inverse of the algorithm I showed you for TCLL plus, but I think this one's a little easier to do. It's R2, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime, U2, R prime. For this case, you're going to do an R2, U, R2, U, F prime, U prime, F, U prime, R. So that one I think could use a little work on the algorithm. For this next case, you're going to do a U or U prime, and then F prime, R prime, F, R, F, U prime, R, U, R prime. This next case, you're going to make sure that these are the same color, and then you're going to do a U prime, and then sledge, R prime, F, R, F prime, and then R, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime. Now we're on to the turtle set. For this first algorithm, you can hold it either from a Y prime or a Y, Y prime or a Y. So, but either way, you want to do a U prime. If you hold it like this, you're going to do R prime, U, R, U prime, R prime, U, R. For this case, you're going to do a U again, and then do a Y prime, R prime, U, R, U prime, R2, F, R, F prime, R, U prime, R prime, U2, R. In this case, once again, you're going to do a U, and then F, R, F prime, R, U, R2, U prime, R, U, R prime. For this case, set up with a U, R, U, R prime, U, and then rotate with the Y, and then R prime, F2, R. This case, do a U prime, and then R, U2, R prime, U2, and then hedge F, R prime, F prime, R. And then this last one, you do an R, U prime, R prime, U2, R, U, R2, F, R, F prime. So now for the Pinwheel posers set. For the first case, you're going to start off with a U prime, and then do F prime, U2, F2, R, F prime, R, U, R2. For this next one, start off with a U, and then F, U, R, U prime, R2, F prime, R, F, R prime, F prime, R. For this easy one here, you're going to do a U prime, and then rotate with the Y, and then L prime, U, L2, F prime, L prime, F. Now for this one, do a U, and then F, R prime, F prime, R2, U, R prime. For this case, start with a U and then R, U, R prime, F prime, R prime, F prime, R, U2, R, U prime, R prime. And then this last one, you don't have to do any setup, just do F prime, R prime, F2, R, U prime, F. So that set is one of my favorites because pretty much all the algorithms in that are good. Even the first one's probably might be the worst, but it's still short and not that bad to execute. So yeah, I really like that one. Finally, for the gun set, you're going to start off with a U for this case, and then do R, U2, R prime, U2, R, U, R prime. This next one, you're going to rotate with an X. It's kind of weird, but it's the best algorithm that I know for this case. And then once you have it like this, it's an R, U2, R, U2, R prime, F2, and then R, and then you kind of rotate down again, so an X prime, U prime, R prime. So yeah, that one's a little bit weird. I try to avoid it. For this case, you're going to do a U, and then R, U, R prime, U prime, F, R prime, F prime, R. So just sex move and then hedge. This case here, start with a U2, and then F, R prime, F prime, R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime. Over here you're going to do a U prime, and then Y prime, and then R prime, F, R prime, F prime, R, U2, R. And for this last case, hold it like this, and then do R2, U, sledge, so R prime, F prime, R, F prime, and then R prime, U prime, R. So now we're going to move on to some common scenarios where TCLL is helpful. This is not a complete list by any means because I've pretty much figured out most of this by myself since there aren't too many resources, so I'm sure that a lot of other people could figure out some other like cases too. But these are some common ones that I come across. So when you have 3/4 of a layer and the last corner is facing up like this, you actually have a lot of freedom because you're able to choose between TCLL plus and TCLL minus depending on how you insert this last corner. This is a case that is particularly helpful for TCLL because CLL, it's like at least like 5 or 6 moves to get to the case that you want. So it's, I mean, for some people it's harder to one look, and also makes me check a lot less cases. So for TCLL, you can just do quick inserts like RU prime R prime or RU to R prime, just like you can with CLL, playing around with the way you insert that last corner. But in TCLL also, you can change from TCLL plus to TCLL minus just by inserting like from the other side per se. So over here you can do like a sled, you don't get TCLL plus. Over here, inserting like this, you get TCLL minus. So when this corner's facing up like that, you do have a lot of options when it comes to these sets. If the corner's not facing up, the last corner, then it's always like a 3-move insert, but let's say you're not getting a good CLL case, you can still check a bunch of different algorithms for TCLL, like RU R prime or RU2, or not that, R prime FR or R prime F2R. So you're getting a bunch of different options that you wouldn't normally get if you just do CLL and EG and stuff like that. So that does give you a lot of different options when you have 3/4 of a layer and CLL isn't working out well. So that was the most obvious use of TCLL, but now I'm going to show you a bunch of different cases to show you kind of like what you should be looking for when looking for a TCLL face. So like your different options. So here, this one looks basically like 3/4 of an EG1 face, something like where you would insert like U R prime, but with TCLL you can do it like a U2R, and then that puts that corner in the back, and since this corner is twisted, that's now a TCLL. Over here, you can see they might do something like, again, do like an EG1 that's not like a short face, but over here you can just do a U prime F2, and you have a TCLL setup again. On this one, it's just a U2 R2 versus something like where you do a UR, and again get like an EG1. This case is just an R prime U2 R. A lot of times people focus on inserting just this corner and not realizing that you can just insert another corner like this. Kind of like the last one we just showed. Here you can just insert this corner by doing like FR, F prime. Over here, again, inserting that back corner, you can do like U prime, R prime, F. And then over here, these are two that I've kind of noticed recently that I can do, where you normally do R prime, U prime, R2 for an EG2, I mean EG1 or something. You can do in R2, U prime, R prime. So not necessarily better than the EG1, but it gives you more options, which is what TCLL is focused on. So similar to that last one, on this case, where you would normally do like a longer CLL or something, you can do R2, UR, and you'll get a TCLL. So just another quick note, when you have no bars on the scramble, TCLL is especially helpful here a lot of the times because you don't have the restriction of making an entire layer, you have more options. So like here the scramble looks really bad at first, but then I realize I can just insert like this last blue corner and I have an easy TCLL. So a lot of times when I don't have bars, and I actually might make a video about that, that's one of the things that I look for most often.